Hello everyone! Starting a new category on my channel, namely scopes and clip-on thermals. And the first of them will be this 3-in-1 640 by 512 12 micron and a 50mm lens gem from Snadesy that can easily get into the ring with similar models from many known brands and get out as winner, while cost significantly less. There is two models available, the SD-TS650 and the SD-TS650. The TS335 is a 384 by 288 with 35mm lens, but in this video we are only going to talk about the flagship model, the SD-TS650, which is the 640 by 512 resolution with 50mm lens. Of course, at the end I'm going to reveal the retail price for both. And of course, crazy channel discount is available for both of the models. I'm also explaining at the end of the video how to get it. So first let's see what's in this box, then we can go to the specifications and compare it with a few similar models from big brands. The first thing I'm finding here, it's going to be the shoulder strap. The shoulder strap for the case itself, good quality, nice and soft shoulder pad. So let's see what's inside this box. Nice carrying case. Nice. So there is a bunch of accessories in this compartment, and here we are going to find the unit itself with the accessories. So let's see first the unit itself and the accessories of the unit, the main accessories, because this is a 3-in-1 scope that can be mounted as a clip-on over a daytime scope, can be mounted individually as a thermal scope, and can be used as a handheld scanner. So the unit itself comes with two lenses. One is pre-installed, that is for the daytime scope clip-on. And the second lens is the eyepiece lens when you use it as a standalone thermal scope. So taking out the unit, you can see this is a very beautiful, very well crafted scope. Absolutely heavy duty, made with very strong, good quality metal. The lens is covered by a protective plastic. So these two lenses can be interchanged according to how you want to use it. This is a daytime scope mounting cup with a very strong wrench, good quality, well built and very strong. Installing the daytime scope clip-on adapter should be fairly easy. As you can see, there is a red dot on the scope part and there is a red dot on the adapter part as well. The red dots needs to face each other when you plug it together, and then just twist it to lock. Then you have this screw here that is made to secure the cup. Once you install it, it's very strong. The daytime scope cup comes in 5 different sizes. This particular one is the 54mm to 59mm, but if you already have a scope and you want a different size, it's available also in 38mm to 43mm size, 46mm to 51mm size, 61mm to 66mm size, and 61mm to 68mm size. So this 5 option is available according to your needs. If you already have a scope or you have a particular scope in mind, daytime scope in mind you want to buy and use this with that as a clip-on, then you can choose your own size of the adapter itself. A beautiful and very strong lens protector cup. When I remove it, you can reveal the 50mm large lens. You can see very far with this, but I will talk about that later in the specifications. Removing the daytime scope adapter is just as easy. And that's it. Easy to install, easy to take out, and it's made of very strong, very good quality materials. Now let's take a look at the eyepiece adapter. I'm going to replace this. All you have to do is take this off. The clip-on adapter lens has a very secure method of installation. Have these pins and they have notches according to that. As you can see, the XGA resolution OLED screen is well protected behind a glass screen, as you can see. So dust is not gonna touch directly the OLED screen. The other very interesting thing about the lens for the daytime scope adapter is that the scope itself have a base magnification of 2.6. Now, if you install the lens for the daytime scope adapter, you see there is a pin. There is 3 pins. There is 1 square and 2 rounded. Now, the square pin have, if you take a closer look, there is something in it. That's a magnet, as you can see, and it's a very strong magnet. Now, when you install the lens for the daytime scope adapter, then this square pin goes into a notch, and inside there activates a sensor. Now that sensor will revert the magnification to ×1 for the scope. So this is a very intelligent and very clever function we implemented in this. Now replacing the adapters. The eyepiece adapter also comes with protector. You just remove the protector. Comes with a protector on it. You have to peel this off before installing, obviously. You just remove it. The eyepiece lens adapter does not have the 3 pins, but it's not important because it does not have to support weight and tension like the daytime scope adapter. Just tie it well, and that's it. Replacing the adapter is like child's play. On the side we can find the USB-C port. Is covered with a nice heavy-duty plastic and silicone made cover. This is a rubber gasket, will make it also waterproof. Very few models on the market have microphone built in, but this is one of them. You can turn it on and off in the software. I'm going to show it a bit later. It can take 4 pieces of batteries, 4 pieces of CR123A 3 volt or the rechargeable 3.7 volt. That's why the size is not big. It's not big. It's a little longer than might be other devices, like the additional compartment that was necessary for the 4 batteries. That's the only thing that increasing the length, because it goes until the other side of the chassis. So this is the battery compartment. It's half of the device itself. I'm going to install the batteries. The polarity is indicated. I'm going to use 4 rechargeable, this type of batteries. If you can see, just push it down and turn this knob until it's completely shut, and that's it. Easy to install the battery. On the top of the scope we will find the control buttons. The power button. Long pressing the power button is turning it on, or long pressing it is turning it off. While it's turned on, and short press the power button is just going to put the screen into pause, but the thermal imager is still working. The photo button or recording button. With a single press it will take a photo, with a long press it will take a recording. And while it's recording, a longer press on the same button and it will stop the recording. This button with the M is going to change the color palettes. This button here is going to trigger the NUC shutter. This button over here is responsible for the zoom up to 8 times. The middle button is the menu button. Long pressing the menu is going to bring up the menu items, and then the forward button is going to become a directional button. Left and right, selecting up and down, and confirming will be the center. That's all. By the way, after finishing installing the eyepiece adapter, you can use the covers to protect the lens and just put it back to its slot. Now let's put this aside for a second and let's see what other accessories we will find here. So in this larger compartment we have here a detailed user's manual in many different languages. Inside the user's manual you will also find the QR codes for iOS and Android systems. That's the host app. You can use your Android phone or iPhone as an external screen. You get, in this case, I get a lot of stickers. It's because As you can see, the device don't have branding on it. They did it on purpose because some people might prefer without logo, so you have the option to put it yourself. Maybe in the future there will be another version where the logo will be engraved, but let me know in the comment section what would you like more. You like a customizable model, or you like it pre-branded. Now these are some sticky tape rubber pads. These are 5 different thickness. This is basically going inside, in the inner side of the daytime scope adapter. As you can see, there are different thicknesses. You get a nice big and good quality cleaning cloths for the lens, good quality as well. Deeper down we can find the Picatinny adapter, quick mount. You can install it with these thumb screws just with your bare hands. And you can remove it the same way as well, fast. More deeper you will find the screws and the installation tool for the Picatinny adapter to be installed on the scope itself. Good, strong, heavy-duty screws. And there is another small tool with another ring, which I right now not yet know what is it exactly. Then you will find a nice USB adapter, USB-C to USB-A adapter. This serves to connect to your PC. You can use this cable as well to charge the device. The 4 battery can last you up to 7 hours, depending on the battery type. Up to 7-hour usage you can take out, but if you have an external battery pack, you can just use the cable and connect it externally, and then basically it's unlimited. Can be the type of mobile phone external battery chargers or any type of bigger or smaller battery bank external. I'm curious about the weight. How much is the weight with 4 battery installed? It's about 655 grams. Not light, but this is very well built. Very strong construction, definitely can resist anything that you can throw at it. In the eyepiece adapter you also have diopter adjusting setting, so if you're wearing glasses you can use it without glasses. The other ring here is the focus ring. Now let's take a look at the specifications in greater details. I'm going to compare it in the same class with a few other bigger brands, and after the specifications I'm going to turn on the device. So I'm going to leave the specification here on the left side, but before the comparison here's a few things that I don't see in the spec sheet. The shock resistance is rated to 750 G per millisecond, and as for caliber size is rated up to .375 H&H, 12 gauge, 9.3 by 64, so yeah, it can easily handle that horse kick. So I'm going to compare 3 different models with the SD-TS650, starting with a bearing optics Super Yotter. I'm going to put the specifications next to the SD-TS650 with a short time delay, one by one, so you can pause it. And you can compare each of those well-known models from well-known brands with the SD-TS650. AGM Rattler TS50 640. Infrared SCH50. What I really like in the specifications of the Snadesy SD-TS650, for example, the 35 millikelvin sensitivity is very good, the 2600 meter detection range, the up to 7-hour battery life, and the 64 GB storage space for your recordings. Okay, let's turn this beauty on. Long press on the power button. Let's see the view screen. The Snadesy logo comes on, and it's already booted on. It's super fast booting on. It has a very nice and very clear image. Now let's bring up the menu. I'm going to choose the hotspot option so I can connect it to the app on my Android phone. Connecting it to the app is super easy, and because it streams exactly what's on the viewfinder, I can just record it on the phone and show the full menu easy. So let's start this from the left to the right. First is battery voltage. Here you can choose if you want to use a 3.7 volt battery or 3 volt battery. Next is the network. If you enable the hotspot, this will allow you to connect it like I do right now to the host software, and you can record and control the scope itself. Next is the contrast. Contrast have 5 levels. Right now it's on level 3, but even on level 1 has an acceptable and crisp image, but you can adjust it depending on the environmental circumstances as you like it. The next is the brightness. Brightness has also 5 levels. You can also adjust it as you like, as is more comfortable for you. The next option is pre-record. That means, I guess, if you turn it on, it's going to buffer a few seconds ahead, and when you turn on the recording, it will start immediately seamlessly. I don't know. I don't see any difference yet. Next option is the picture-in-picture. If you turn this on, you will see a second screen with the zoomed-in version of the center of the screen. So you don't need to zoom in and out. You can see the normal magnification and a zoomed-in image. This can help in certain situations, I guess. Next is the reticle group. In the reticle group, you have 5 options. That means you can save 5 zeros, and you can choose between them anytime. And the next is the reticle option itself, where you can do the zeroing to each save slot and many more, such as choosing the distance, or you can turn off the reticle entirely and save that in one of the slots, so you will have an option in the reticle group that you can use for scanning. Or reticle type. Here you have 5 different reticle type options. And then you have 3 reticle color options as well, white, green and red, but I find the white to be the best. You can also zoom in. And finally, you have the zeroing process itself, the option with the X and the Y axis. You can move the cursor, you can move the reticle with the directional buttons on top of the scope itself. Then we also have here software-based distance measuring, which during the making of this video I couldn't figure out entirely. You can also choose here a few options of what are you looking at to give a software a base height of the object you are looking at to aid you with the calculation of the distance. You can also trigger manual shutter correction, image calibration, and for last you have here CVBS on or off, which is composite video blanking and sync, but I guess for that you would need USB to CVBS adapter. I have not tested yet. There is also a second page in the menu if you're heading right. The first menu item is DPC, which stands for Defective Pixel Correction. It means if you have a defective pixel, you use that menu and it will correct it. Next to it is Auto Power Off. That means if you're not using it for a certain time, it will shut down automatically. Following that, we have Burn-in Prevention. That means if you are looking at a hyperthermal object, instead of burning the sensor, it will shut it down automatically. Next to it, we have the firmware version and the serial number, software information, little things like that. After that we have Restore, that's factory reset, obviously. After that we have here Language, where you can obviously choose your language. I will quickly run through the languages just so you can see how many and which languages you can find here. Next is Time Sync. With this option you can synchronize the phone time with the time of the scope itself when you are connected to the software. Then the on-screen display, OSD, where you can just turn on or turn off the on-screen display menu display items like time and all these other informations you can see upstairs. Then hotspot tracking. It's a very cool feature. It will point out the hottest point on the image you are currently looking at. And the last is the audio on or off. It will disable or enable the microphone, so you can record the environmental sound during the video recording. This is how the internal microphone sounds when recording. Definitely not an audiophile grade recording quality, but it is there if you need it. Right now I'm using the white hot color palette, but there is 3 other color palettes available. Black hot, Fusion, which is the iron rainbow that other companies call it. And the red hot. This is going to highlight a certain range with red color. And the other cool thing is that you can remote control the scope from the Android software or iOS software, whichever you are using. You can control brightness, contrast, zoom. You can control the color palette as well, and recording and taking photos. So it's a very cool feature as well. Anything you hit, it will take effect immediately on the device itself. And now let's install the Picatinny adapter on the scope. It's a fairly simple process, includes all the tools and bolts and nuts and everything. All I have to do is put this on. Drop the screws in it. Adequately tighten the screws, and there we have it, installed nice and secure. And now let's install this bad boy on something. For the demonstration I'm going to use the legendary HK416, the one that took out Bin Laden. This is an airsoft replica, but looks and weights exactly the same as the real one, so you can visualize how the scope is going to look like on a real one. The installation is extremely simple. All you have to do is loosen these two thumb screws, move it on the Picatinny rail, whichever location you want it, then just tighten the thumb screws. It's absolutely perfectly enough, just do it with your hand. It's going to be absolutely strong, and that's it. It's already installed. Target practice with 3 ounce 90 milliliter cups randomly filled with hot and cold water. I know destroying a few cups is not a perfect test, but if you saw the specifications, you know the hogs and coyotes will have no chance to escape. As you could see, this is one beast of a thermal scope, with all the flagship specifications and superior resolution, and the beautiful image quality of course, and on a friendly retail price of around $3,900. But here comes the channel discount, which all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, go to my channel homepage. In the banner image on the corner you will find the Discord channel invitation link. Join my Discord and ask me in a private message for a discounted price, which is going to be much lower and shipping also included. So if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you're not going to miss in the future any more new nice gadget like this coming on the best prices from the most trustable sellers you can find. Shortly after this video, I'm going to put up a second video with only purely recordings with the scope itself, so you can have a deeper look how is the resolution and how is the quality in different times and different environments, mostly outside. So see you in the next one.